Always sneaky with the dirty V8 jokes.
We've been here less than 10 seconds and there's V8 shit going down.
Always. Oh God! I've had trouble with extension lead. Everything I've gone wrong.
He fell over. We've got a keeler.
Oh, man down, absolute man down. Right, so you know, how you guys doing? You know, how's stuff going on and stuff? Oh, should we do a record? Are we doing a record? We are recording.
Yeah. Oh, you got to clap.
No, you don't have to clap. You don't have to clap. It's modern technology. It's already fucking done. It's worked.
So this is Lockdown Beers with Alex Law and Dan Joyce, as well as the Low Origin podcast. Bit of a mashup.
Yeah. We'll both steal it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get at least 3, maybe 4 views on it. So it's a big.
The problem is who's in charge of this though. That's the thing. Is it Adam? Is it Alex? Dan? I'm not in charge.
I mean, officially, Adam has been
Adam.
Made the host,
Adam,
so,
yeah. Adam's sailing this ship.
I had to, because otherwise none of this would have worked. Because you guys ended up in a fucking
Alex
in a
team, I remember, and I worked out how to swipe right.
That's true.
Yeah, that's because you're good on Tinder.
That's exactly why.
I don't use this on a phone. I've only used it on the Mac. So, you know, what do you want?
What do you want from me?
Better effort next time.
Yeah, fair enough. We should have just used Skype. Let's be honest.
Well, I did say, but
I know you stick to what you know, and when I say what I know, I mean
we've known Zoom for 3 days.
Yeah. I've taken to making the same thumbnail for every single one of them because they just mash up into one big long Zoom cast of.
They do, yeah.
Yeah,
so
you boys
have been doing this then, regular.
You boys have been doing the same as us, haven't you? Chatting shit to people.
Yeah.
We've been doing it to BDC drivers. You've been doing it to your low boys.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm all shit talked out, and then I realised I can hate on competition driving and V8, so I was back in the game then.
Like a double chance. It's mega, isn't it?
You can keep saying this. You can keep saying this, but do you remember at BDC Buxton where we were chatting and having bets on competition who were going to win and stuff?
Yeah, I remember.
Can you remember what you said?
No, but I also remember Oliver Bolton absolutely ruining you with a little SR.
He didn't ruin me.
He did.
Oliver Bolton didn't knock me out.
He did.
He didn't.
In the dream that I had.
In the dream.
The dream.
While we were watching, just to let you know, Alex, while we were watching Pro-Am, Dan said if he was ever to build a competition car, it'd have a V8.
No, I didn't.
You fucking did.
No, I didn't.
Look at that. I can't have Rich to it.
I like that. Today. Like already, there's so much denial going on. There's so
look at glasses.
I wish we could just add Mike Walton to this conversation.
You probably can, because I'll tell you now, I fucking can't.
But no, we are from 2 different worlds of drifting, really, aren't we? So we do the competition side. You boys do the low and cool stuff.
Danny's doing BDC whenever that starts, and I mean, I don't understand. This is a thing. I don't understand why BDC isn't allowed to run right now. Because we've watched their twinning. We've watched the twinning, and everyone keeps a 2 meter distance anyway. Like at all times. So surely they're social distancing, and it's fine. And you should be allowed to run.
I agree. Let's run the events.
Yeah, let's just run them.
Let's run the events, but let's run them so that there's officially it's okay to be 2 meters away. I mean, I'd be really good at that.
You might even have a chance, mate.
I'd forget to put it in gear.
Yeah,
I just would, or stall it. One or the other.
I mean, what, like, realistically, all jokes aside, and when I say all jokes aside, I mean that for like about 30 seconds. Just bear that in mind.
Come on, let's have a serious conversation.
Like, so there's probably about 3 weeks of this, and then probably another 3 weeks of this, and then after that, if shit's sort of relaxed enough for people to start thinking about doing stuff, when does actual round one? Like, let's say 6 weeks from now, it's officially we're allowed to do shit. At that point, I know we're guessing here, but like, how likely is it to be within that month?
I guess round 1 would be the next event that's in the calendar already, and then just sort it.
Yeah, but I saw that you'd moved one to September. That was Three Sisters' original round 1.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've moved that to then. What you've got to think, in my eyes anyway, is that if you put 50 people in a pub, that's just as dangerous as 1,000 people at a BDC event in reality.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, once they open pubs, I can't see how they can't allow events to happen, or, you know, anything like, or even like a school or a busy workplace. It's only the same proximity.
Same thing. Yeah.
Well, we've all seen the Winter Olympics, haven't we? That's what drifting's going to be this year. It's going to be.
Yeah, the last round will probably between that awkward time between Christmas and New Year.
Last round is Boxing Day.
I heard there are going to be 6 rounds at Buxton.
Yeah, in the snow, in the fucking snow with like the worst fog ever, like every Buxton that I'd ever been to.
We'll be all right. We can just get you lads to plough track.
Yeah.
Shout.
Do that, no bother.
I mean, we'll most likely be available, so
yeah.
There'll be no bumpers left from the car park, though. That's the problem.
No, that is.
No. We'll take them off. Get on track. What was that?
Will any of you have an engine that works?
Mine works, mint.
Yeah, I mean, Dan and Danny, the professionals.
To the work mint bit?
Well, what happened is I had to fuck it up a few times, and then I gave it to Mr. Yandel, and then he fixed it.
That's a recurring theme here on these chats that we've been having. People fuck shit up, and then you just send it down to Yandel, and he does.
Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah, Yandel fixes it. You're like, okay, thanks, Yandel. Cheers, mate. And then you're happy. But then I snapped a throttle body screw and put that through the cylinder head. So then I had to talk to Dave again, like, Dave, I broke it, and. Yeah. Good time.
I was listening to your podcast from the other day where you were saying that you were going to dry sump it and put a sequential on your car, Dan.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Do you think your car would be competitive like at BDC in that? With that setup?
The car will never be BDC compliant, so. I mean, I think it's
a bold statement. That
well, it's not. Look, it's got full interior in it, and I'm not going to take it out.
No, but so I'm saying if forget the rules.
Yeah, okay.
Forget
the rules.
Forget them rules.
No, forget the interior rules. Do you think you could make it as low as it is? Like, do you think you could make a competitive car that low as yours are?
Yeah.
That's been the intention. I mean, we've like you remember the stupid shit that I did to adhere to the original MSA Blue Book rules when Sweeps and Paul were doing it, and then like the same time as me doing like the most convoluted, peculiar modifications to my car to make the car run low and also have grip. Granted, I also had to discover that tires played a big part in that, but at the same time. In the States, people like Julian Jacobs were just raising the subframes on stock suspension into the backs of the car. And I'm like, but I've got to adhere to these rules.
Yeah.
And then
but when you did adhere to... Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. But this is it. Like, then when Dave took over and he changed a lot of the rules on rear suspension setups,
They just literally said, "Do what the fuck you like." As long as it looks legit.
That was it. And I was like, "Well, I could have done exactly that. I could have just notched the inner upper rails and just sunk the diff and the whole lot up, and that would have solved a lot of problems." But you think, what sort of why am I doing that? Like, what's the point? It's because I like to look at the car on the ground. And seemingly a lot of other people do too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's hard to also, because you just have to be committed to hitting the car on the ground, whether it's body work or the metal work. But as Dan's discovered recently, there's subtle things that we can do to our cars specifically because they're low to make them more. I mean, the stuff that Dan you were talking about recently about. Shit that I'll never be able to understand, but so long as you understand it.
Oh, you meant when I actually learned how to set a coilover up, but that was pretty cool. Yeah.
How do you do that? I don't think many people know.
So you know when you set a coilover,
extending, you have to learn.
You know when you lower a car, do you do it? Do you do it off the shock body and just lower that down, push that up the tube, and then that's it? Yeah, you're doing it completely wrong.
That's the way I've always done it.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to do chop springs.
No. You're meant to. If you remove the spring and set your bump travel to start with, and then as soon as you've got that set at your highest point, your lowest point, then you set the car height off the spring.
What's bump travel?
This is why you've got a V8, because you understand nothing.
That fixes everything. Stick a V8 in, it's fine.
Thing is, Matt's just staying quiet and pretending like he knows.
Mate, I don't do mechanics anymore, do I? Clean hands, mate. Clean hands.
Clean hands.
I just drive them and paint them. That's all I do.
I mean,
Everything else doing it. You're a professional.
Works, that's all
I
that
leave
matters.
other jobs to everybody else.
BDC is professional drivers only club. So you're okay.
Full-time drivers.
Yeah, just full-time.
If anything, your lads are probably more professional than, I want to say, half the BDC grid.
We're not.
No,
we're not.
no,
because most of our sponsors, genuine proper sponsors, are shit scared of us doing podcasts because of the stupid shit we say. like Dave Yandel was like, I love the podcast, it's amazing, but please never mention my name in it.
Never mention my name.
We're like, but Dave, you do a really good job. We're only ever going to say good things. He's like, yeah, but what if you don't? And I'm like, just
that one time,
Dave. We love what you do. You're a professional.
Yeah.
But no, like your lads probably do more social media and stuff like that than half of the drivers on BDC grid.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I remember years and years ago, like, you got to bear in mind, like, when me, Matt, and Adam started, probably as seriously as BDC was back in 2011, 2012, I nearly was Slide Motorsport. Very. I still have the message where we were like,
I think things would have been totally different.
Who knows?
You'd had a V8 by now.
I think that the whole Skid Row thing would have been quelled, quashed, and squished way sooner, which I think would have probably been a good thing. But I think my frustrations with how that team, that whole thing went, was the thing that made me and Dan sit down and go, why are we out here looking for sponsors why don't we just be our own sponsors? Why don't we just, if people enjoy what we do, why, we see, honestly, it was a couple of our actual other sponsors who gave us little promo codes for Facebook. So we put their promo codes on and thought nothing of it. And then a couple of weeks later, they were like, oh yeah, I sold a couple of £1,000 worth of t-shirts off the back of those promo codes. Good work, guys. And I was like, you did what? You did fucking what?
Drop the mic.
You did.
Know I am.
Yeah. And me and Alex are there like, yo, you've been on eBay. We've got some 255 budgets on there. We might be able to do another drift day.
Yeah. But the point was, instead of, as a lot of people do, is constantly sending out sponsorship proposals, and the problem with that was it meant that you had to adhere to very specific things. I don't know if you remember 2014, where there was Dojo Interactive, which was a media company. We had to behave a very specific way and say specific things and act a very specific way. And I understand that a lot of companies do that, and they like that and require that. But I think it's really hard to have enough personality that's worth investing in. As a fan of the sport, like, I don't follow F1, but the most aggro, pissed off F1 drivers who say the dumbest shit and do the dumbest shit are the ones that everyone knows about. But they're not necessarily the most successful or the best on the grid. And I mean, certainly since 2013,
Oh my god! I can't wait. I literally can't wait till 2023. 2023. Hold on. Wait there. Wait your turn, Adam. Wait.
Are they eBay ones that you bought?
My point is...
No, in 2023, you're no longer allowed to talk about this shit. You're just not, after the 10-year rule.
What does that say? Constructed. Right, yeah.
Nobody cares, Alex. Literally nobody cares.
Does that 10-year rule count? I can't wait for it, because in that year, Matt won semi-pro.
No, I didn't.
Wait there.
2014,
Look how good them trophies are compared to match trophies.
Thank you. I've been saying this.
I'll say it out loud in public. No one's going to watch this anyway, but our trophies this year were shit.
Yeah.
The intention was great. The execution was poor.
My point is we were chasing after trophies to keep sponsors happy, when in actual fact those sponsors didn't get what they wanted from it. And it was mainly because they weren't allowing us to do the things that we kind of wanted to do. There were a million other factors in it, but basically that whole Skid Row shit. It was me, Matt, and Joe, and they've gone on to do other things, and I've kind of gone on to do a sort of. Matt Samuel is he's like an exclusive Porsche 911 fabricator, builder, mechanic guy. Joseph Anchors is
Welsh.
Lots of things. He's a good lad. What are you laughing for?
Come on, tell us a few of these.
He's a good lad. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. I think.
Find another way, but not good lad.
No. What happened is Joe built that 14, buried it in a wall in Ireland, and then I was like, "Yeah, I've had enough of this now."
Yeah, I think that was a big pride problem. But then I could say that the fundamental fall down of that old team was that I think I'm going to say delusions of grandeur. And the words "I'm not drifting for less than £10,000," and I'm not going to say who said that, but it certainly wasn't me. I was living in a council estate bedsit at the
Oh yeah, that was each first season.
Yeah, and I it certainly wasn't me. But the point was, it just became unmanageable. Gabby was managing the team back then, and
she manages ours now.
She does, yeah. She does.
We can't do shit.
She's technically 75% of low origin due to the fact that we completely fucked up how you do the books when you're a limited business. So she accidentally...
Is low origin set up as a business then?
Yeah. So it's a limited company. And when the first year when we did the books, I was 50% and Gabby was 50%. And
I don't know where the fuck I was.
Well, this is the thing. So,
the fucking truth comes out now, don't it, you whore?
Like that, yeah. No dividends for you, Dan.
Well, the intention was to do exactly that. But
I don't care. I'll just spend the money.
In order to do it, in order to do the books, Gabby had to be 50% shareholder. 50% shareholder, right? So upon making herself 50%. It's fucking stupid, but in order to do that, she took 50% of my 50%. So I own 25% of low origin, and Gabby owns 75%, and she has no idea what any of it is really.
I think she scammed you, mate. She hasn't told you this yet, but she's 100% scammed you. Because that's not true what you just said.
It's essentially me and Dan that do the entire thing.
No. But wait,
did you send you an email written in very poor English? Telling you that 70. Did she send you an email written in very poor English telling you she wanted an extra 50%?
Yeah, but the way I've got to look at it is from a legal point. I can say what I like and shit talk everyone, and I can't get sued personally. You and Gabby.
Yeah, exactly.
You deal with that suing. You deal with the lawsuit.
Especially when folk from Ireland get upset about our opinions on.
Oh, they do. Strong opinions.
Have you been pissing people off, mate?
Yeah, I pissed off.
No, you can't say. Don't.
I did.
Pissed off who?
I pissed off Origin Europe.
So can we say it and just not you?
Yeah. No, I'll say it. I don't mind.
Go on then. Tell us the story.
Okay, well, what I'll say...
this is long-winded. This is long-winded.
Just
sit down.
Stick to the main bits.
No, we want Dan to tell us.
No.
Oh, why?
Come on, Dan.
What I'll say... Dan's not even drank anything, for fuck's sake.
No, I don't need to.
What I'll say is...
What you will say.
Is
with your hand or your mouth?
Our company...
In fact, am I in charge? I can mute Alex and Dan can tell us.
Yeah, mute it.
Do it. What happened was our company...
Origin.
Well, yeah, because Origin Japan were our bezzy mates. Wanted to give us loads of fucking free shit. But hypothetically, let's say I'm talking about the same company. But that company sent short of a cease and desist over a podcast you'd said something along the lines of, well, he's a fucking wanker. And he's
he is.
A couple of other things.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But can you actually sue someone for calling him a wanker?
So he was citing the defamation clause, and the difference here is very specifically is Daniel had said that the person who we won't mention, will we, Daniel? But the person was a wanker, and the origin and the company were
cunts. Basically, what happened is Nishida, who is big boss man of Origin Japan, well, Origin itself, offered us full sponsorship. Aero, the fucking lot. He says, "I'll get in touch with my agent."
Bear in mind, we hadn't asked for anything. This is a guy called Nishida who owns the company, who's seen what we've been doing for the past couple of years and approached us through the info@loworigin.com email address. Yeah. That's it.
He see we're running D-Max, wanted us to run Origin Aero again. That came about. He said he'd talk to his Origin Europe dealer, and his Origin Europe dealer refused to sort us the Aero at all. He refused it point blank, wouldn't deal with us, and ignored emails and ignored messages. And I cunted him off on a podcast.
Yeah.
You could have got your 10 grand a driver from that.
Easy. I'd sold all the Aero already.
That's not what happens with sponsorship, Dan.
Here it is. Ask Alex about his old Owen Development Turbos fucking sponsorship that got shit out.
Oh God, that was so depressing.
How did you lose that, Alex?
That was. Do you remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? Yeah. Right. So I got tagged in about 60 of these fucking things, right? And I did one. I did one. And then I got tagged in another 60 of the fucking things. So I got a bucket, a metal galvanized bucket, and I froze it using liquid CO2. I froze it and I threw it at my car and went, stop. I did this on a video. Yeah, I did this on a video. I went, stop. Okay, stop tagging me. It's done. Stop. Anyway, I did this. It got quite decent traction. It got about 5,000 views on the video. But the problem was my car was in the background, and in the background was Owen Developments. And the fella from Owen Developments then messages me and says, "I don't find that very funny. That's not cool. I want you to take the video down." So I was like,
"No." So what you're telling us is this is one of these. Bad as Dan.
Yeah, this is one of these things that was also a initiator into us just doing our own fucking thing instead of having to or trying to adhere to stringent rules laid out. Well, not stringent rules. I guess it was a shitty thing to do, but I was getting fucking sick of it. And I wasn't disrespectful to the ALS.
Anti-lag squad.
Quite quick, that, mate.
Well, my point is, yeah, it's pretty. You should write. But the point was, after that, about a year later, my Owen Developments 3073 HTA RS, my Badmanzi Turbo. Unfortunately,
but let's carry on.
Unfortunately, I'd let a single strand of an air filter go
you
through.
can get fucked if you think it's a single strand, you lying whore. Half of his air filter went through.
Yeah. But anyway, I basically rang them up and I said, hey, you know, this has happened. Is there anything you can do about it? Bear in mind, we continued to run the Owen Development logo for another 2 years afterwards, without any contract or conversations. And the conversation was, yeah, we'll fix it for you, but it'll be at either the original BDC discount or it was at full price. I don't think it was at full price, but it was in order to do. It had a new.
We had a new core in it, didn't you?
No, it was the cold side blades were replaced. The conical nut was replaced, and the bearing carrier was replaced.
So what I can gather from this is you're moaning that somebody didn't sort any sponsorship out because you run stickers even though they didn't know they were sponsoring you. Is that what we're saying?
Much, yeah.
Well, originally, hang on. The original deal was, and I don't know whether I should ever
2 years
mention
previous. Let's just clarify this.
Yeah. We were as far as we're aware, we were the only team that got free turbos. We were the only team that got free turbos.
I think they told that
everyone else. Oh, did they? Yeah.
I don't know. I never got a turbo.
Oh, did you not? Oh.
Don't need a
I had a V8, mate. I had a V8.
Oh, you had a dirty V8 at that time. It was really the horrible, nasty BMW.
I think we need to
thing,
talk about this. These BMW V8s, right? Me and Matt both had them. We know the shit, but they are the most reliable things you could ever. If you want to just go and smash
so
seat
shit,
time,
aren't they? They are real shit, though, aren't they? Let's
not
lie about it.
Like
it's like you literally you're spending
a Morris
days.
Minor's reliable.
Right, I did 5 RBs in one season. Every round of BDC the first year, I blew an RB.
That's like telling me you did 5 SR20s. That's like
a
high maintenance lady.
Who tuned them?
I don't have a tune, mate. I had a stage 2. No.
Oh, there you go. You fucking
rising sun performance.
RSP.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. But then I put this BMW8 in. Matt bought the car. It done 260,000 miles. Then it did 2 or 3 years in my car, NA. Then a full year supercharged. And then another 6 months when we turned boost up.
You can't believe it. Look at him.
I know, they're like that. That's why he's laid down. He's like, shit, I did 75
that sounds boring. That's what? So you're telling me you get home from a drift day and don't have to work on your car? That sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it?
It's boring. No,
just leave it.
No. Usually what happens with us is we go to a drift day and somehow Alex's car ends at my house and I have to fix it. And then have to fix my own.
I saw some pictures of that.
Whoever used to scrutineer his car needs sacking, basically, and never being allowed to scrutineer again.
I'd be more worried about the person who MOT'd it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, the guy who MOT'd it never saw the car, so...
Yeah. PayPal MOTs, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. Never had one of them.
Never had one of them, mate.
Same.
No. So how's your... so you're putting another V8 in your vehicle, are you, Matthew?
I am indeed.
One today.
Bought one today. But I'm going to the turbo route, though. So I'm kind of touching on away from the V8 a little bit, but still V8.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
What?
He's jumping on. What are you talking about V8? What are you actually doing there, Alex?
He's cutting a lime, isn't he, for his Corona?
I'm not an animal.
Right.
That's not a fucking animal.
I thought he was slitting his wrists.
That was sophisticated.
On the low hanging podcast.
Shit.
But
I'm looking forward to getting back out. Fuck it, I can't wait. Get me a V8.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
It's a real good job that you got rid of fucking Brad McQueen anyway, isn't it? That's a good shout, that was.
Why? Do you not approve?
He just fucking... You know what? He could drive okay, but fuck me. He forgets what he's going on about, don't he? He forgets what he's just watched in front of him.
I thought because he's SR powered, I thought you'd all roll tight.
No. We don't roll tight. Doesn't matter what engine it is.
Alex can't even keep a straight face.
It was just, that was a good shout getting rid of him.
So what do you think of Ty Perry?
It is what it is, isn't it? He's a lot bigger than me, so I can't shit talk him.
You'll never see him.
He might.
We want honesty,
I don't know.
Dan. We want honesty.
Brad was a weird call for me. Brad O'Nines or Names. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
O'Nairns.
He was a bit of a weird call.
Now he is a chief shit talker. He's like a really professional. Like he does it as a day job, shit talking. Like Brad Online is like the most aggro guy ever. It's
Have you just changed his second name to that Brad Online?
Brad Online.
50.
I've never seen him drive. He's got that triple BRX7 thing, isn't he?
I've seen him drive a few times, but it always sets on fire.
Yeah.
Alex can relate to that.
The thing with Brad is he's been like in it behind the scenes and stuff for a while, and he's been spotting and stuff for years with Mark Looney and all that shit.
Yeah, but as everyone knows, spotting, drifting is cool, but judging is a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
So
you are right. It is very different. I've had quite a lot of chats. Like we went to America with Brad, didn't we? At one point, not with him, but we met him there. Like
yeah.
But since then, we've had a good few chats over the last few months, and I think he's going to be quite good. He's quite like
I reckon he'll be all right.
He can explain himself well. He's reasonable about his about his calls and that. So I think he'll actually do surprisingly well.
I know there was reasons why, but I would have loved to see Ryan Pothecary as head judge. That would have been delightful. Because
I'll be straight up like that. Ryan won my first call, but he couldn't commit to it. So
I know. I know there's
reasons.
Yeah, I know there's reasons behind it, but it would have been nice to have him as a head judge or whatever. He actually knew what he was talking about all the time.
Yeah, he's good. People like him. It's like an easy win, isn't it, for him? Because people believe what he's saying.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
the drivers behind him.
That's half the battle. That's half the battle because I mean the judging that briefly I did it.
2013 maybe.
No, 2014. It was for.
Oh, okay.
It was,
2014 were a good year, weren't it, Adam? Good year, 2014.
Come on, what happened in 2014, Matt?
I don't want to rattle on about it, mate.
For anybody that don't know, he won BDC Pro.
Did you win out? Oh, right. Oh, Pro Am.
What did you win, Alex, in that year?
What did you win?
2014, my main sponsor had a nervous breakdown and left us in $3,000 worth of debt.
If anyone wants to
win though,
no, that was
no, it was 2013.
Oh, yeah. I meant to say about that.
I've heard it so much.
Before your car was really low.
It was low then. Carry on.
It weren't, not like it is now.
Was.
It was stock bodied though. They had stock bumpers on it.
Yeah, I'd had to
front bumper.
I'd had to do loads of lying to people who were scrutineering my car about some of the modifications that had been done.
Oh, we're going on about chassis legs right now. It says in the rules you're not allowed to touch
scrutineering. We weren't in charge then. You can tell.
It makes no odds to me.
It ain't like you go back to the BDC.
Well, you never know. Never say never.
Never say never. I'm not.
Never say never.
I'm pretty sure I heard a podcast where you said you were never competing ever again.
I've never said that. I'd always. It's one of those things where,
if the opportunity arises,
I think it's a nostalgia thing. I like that. Like was it last year? Fuck. This year it's really fucked a lot of things. I can't tell where we're up to with years.
Yeah, last year we done Teesside. You sucked dick. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I sucked dick. But me and Sweeps sat there with
all
really
the
well,
drivers.
And
I wasn't allowed to drive. I asked to.
I think he means me and Sweeps. We did really.
Oh no, not you, Dan. I mean Sweeps. And
so I was going to say I'm not allowed to drive.
We did. We didn't do great. But what was great was the 2 or 3 hours sat at the back wall where Teesside has the little noise thing, and we just sat there and chatted to all the drivers that we'd not seen in ages, and a load of drivers that had come back for that event. And it was really cool to just catch up with people wearing fucking race suits and we're about to go out we're about to go out and do some drifting. And it was it was the nostalgia that I really enjoyed. And also because it was Teesside, but it's one of those. The car would need Actually, I don't know. Actually, no, I do know. I know the car is currently non-compliant, not just because of the current state it's in on Dan's drive. It's directly in front of his where he is sat right now.
Yeah.
But I think there are a number of other things cage related that
pass
modifying.
You get a 1 round pass. If you go to 1 round and your car don't meet regs, you get a round pass.
As long as it's not dangerous.
Well, you see, that's where it gets interesting, isn't it?
That could be the clause that gets.
That's where it gets interesting. So,
who decides if it's dangerous?
Mr. Dan Joyce, what were we discussing today?
About what, mate?
The cage situation.
No, I can't talk about that because I'm a drift cup driver.
Right. Okay. In which case, we'll just not talk about it.
No, bring it up. Come on.
There's somewhere in the rules that states your door bar has to be 450 mil off the floor, your top door bar, yeah?
They never check that in scrutineering, mate. I won't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. I mean, I just have to raise my car and that is not happening. I just go home.
Or, hang on.
Raise your door bars.
Or the rest of the grid lowers the fucking car because it's only set at that height because of the height of the other cars.
It is a truth. That's a valid point.
So the problem here isn't that our cars are too low.
Every other is too high.
Is that everyone else is too high.
I've adhered by the rules and everything this year. I mean, I've even put this stupid fucking plasticky film shit on my window.
Is it wrinkled?
Anti-shutter stuff. Oh, of course it is, mate. Yeah, it's horrible.
Just take it off. Are they actually going to say, no, you're not driving?
I don't know because...
Adam, the light that owner is like here.
Matt's just looking at me going, he's had a few
down.
Yeah, but Matt's... I won't be able to do BDC anyway. As my car would never conform to a BDC rule.
But you do get a 1 round pass. So if you can't...
No, but it pisses me off because I can go to the practice day the day before BDC and twin with absolutely fucking anyone on the grid. The following day...
that is? Do you want to know why that is? It's down to insurance reasons. Yeah, on competition, you know what I mean? In competition regulations, we've got to abide by a certain rule set.
I'm not competing. I'm going to fucking lose.
You're just taking part. You're just there to make numbers up.
Yeah, I'm just there to say hello. How are you?
Chat with the insurance and see what they think to that. I'll show them a few videos of you driving and that, and be like, realistically, he's not really competing, so it should be fine.
Yeah. Realistically, if he gets through qualification, he's on a good day.
It's a total
you can just show him Alex's qualifying room from the year before.
Yeah, they're in the same team, similar.
Yeah.
Same car.
But the cars are too low. They don't work. They're not qualifying.
Oh.
They're just here for Instagram likes.
Yeah. Look at that fiberglass hitting the floor. What a fucking idiot.
While we're talking about fiberglass hitting the floor, your two's cars, really cool. Love them. Love what you do and everything. But they look really good at the beginning of the year. But then when they're that low, like when your side skirts rub on floor and like
it's stretching off. What's he getting ready for?
I've got a trapped nerve in my neck. Go on, just carry on.
He's old as fuck. He's super old.
Like your front bumpers rub on floor and it all wears away. And then it looks a bit shit. So would you not be better off just raising it up a bit? So
Adam, right? It's honestly, it's the smartest thing ever.
No, I've got spare aero.
It looks like because the aero gets fucked day one. It looks like we've been going drifting hard since day one.
To Tesco's,
but we've been to Tesco.
Okay. I'll take that one.
Am I back?
As long as that explains, that's fine.
That's the real reason. Dan, where have you gone? Yeah, you're there. I can see you now.
Oh, sorry, I had a phone call.
You had a phone call?
Who's ringing you on lockdown?
You can't take, yeah. You can't take phone calls. We're in the middle of a very, very important meeting.
What were you been
watching BDC last year?
Does what?
Did you watch BDC last year?
Yeah.
Do you still watch it?
I came to a couple of them, yeah. Came to the last three, I think.
Yeah, I saw you at books.
And I was at one of them, so I missed one of them.
So, who do you think this year will win Pro and Pro 2?
This year? Is that some sort of a sick joke, Adam?
Okay, the next season.
This year. Do you know who's going to fucking win this year?
Corona.
I don't know. Some of the drive. I don't know.
Who's going to win?
People with SRs, Dan?
Ollie Evans keeps on being consistently good at everything, doesn't he? What a cunt he is.
I think. I mean, Ollie's good.
His S14 is ropier than yours.
I think him and Josh King are going to battle it all throughout the year. To be honest,
it's a joy to watch. It's a joy to watch.
Yeah, Josh will do well.
Yeah, because when Josh is on it, he's really on it.
Yeah.
So I believe him and Ollie, they drive the same as well. They've got a similar style to themselves. So I think it'll be between them.
I think that's like a completely underrated thing that's important in this as well. So you've got competition if you've got two drivers that have a similar style to the driving, because it's all good and well just being fast or hitting particular clipping points. If you've got two drivers if you've got two drivers that have a similar style, it makes a run-in competition.
Can I just stop you there a minute? Dan, did you just say it's easier to run a line?
Yeah.
So how come you don't qualify first at Drift Cup every time you enter?
Because my car's not that fast.
You don't need to be fast in qualifying, mate.
All you got to do is run line and that's easy.
You've not seen Drift Cup for a while.
No,
motherfuckers are turning up with 600 brake horsepower.
It matter in qualifying, mate.
And where's those?
It is easy to run a line, but it doesn't mean that someone else isn't better at running that line than me.
Cool story.
It was, wasn't it?
It's true. It's one of those, isn't it? I always struggle. Start sounding like we're talking about cocaine here. I always struggle with lines. But
you want to know someone who don't? Topo.
Who's getting sued in this podcast?
Dan.
Are we talking about Topo's cocaine sense or the fact he's qualifying leaves a line?
His line is perfect every run. Every single run. His car just breaks before qualifying.
I'm going to piss myself.
You know, you call his name up to qualify. It's like, no, his car's not there. What up, blown up? Just blown up.
But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Like you can very quickly find yourself, all your mates going, yeah, well, you just need to get like a little bit closer out to this clip here, or you just need to like make the transition a bit smoother or a bit quicker out of clip 3 or whatever. And every time anyone just sits down and talks to me about like changing the way I'm doing a line, I'm like, so I didn't crash then.
Yeah, always. It's like, the points you're bringing up are okay, but did it look good?
Because I'll tell you now, the fact that I got to the end,
I'm pretty happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, that's the most unlikely part of this whole thing.
I still remember fucking Drift Cup whenever I'd done it last at Three Sisters and my seat snapped on initiation and I fucking won my battle from the back seat. That was the best time ever.
Another great bit of scrutineering.
No, you got snitched on.
Who snitched on?
It was his SR mates as well.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's what I was expecting. I was like, if we ask him who's going to win Pro and Pro 2, like, only Pro 2, Pro-Am driver with an SR is the person who gassed on you, so you're not going to say it's him.
Why was
that? You know why? And do you know how he's in the BDC? Because he grassed on me.
Who are we on about? This is gone.
He literally got his chance to qualify at BDC because he grassed on me. He didn't like my DeWalt box. I thought that's a good, solid, sturdy fix.
If it works, it ain't stupid.
Bright blue 14A.
Your face.
drives at Santa Pod an awful lot. One of Lex's friends. Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah.
He has no idea. But yeah, so I was meant to battle him in a top 8 or top 16, and my seat snapped, and I'd wedged it with a bolt and a DeWalt box.
I do remember this now. Yeah, I do remember it. Yeah.
And a few drivers knew about it, laughed about it, but he found out about it 2 minutes before our battle. Went and told the marshal, so I couldn't run.
You'd have thought that'd have been a 1 round pass, wouldn't you? You'd thought you got a 1 round pass.
You would have a BDC.
I thought it'd be a 1 round pass
for a DeWalt box as a fucking seat rail.
I tightened my harness up even tighter. I weren't going anywhere. What's the drama?
Yeah, but the harnesses at that point become structural parts of the car if your rail's missing, because you're pushing the seat down to keep you in place.
Yeah, that was fine. There's literally nothing wrong with that.
I'm not going to make up reasons as to why,
Oh, I absolutely, definitely did deserve getting kicked off. I definitely did. I just wish he didn't. That's the reason he's in BDC.
Yeah,
you're not bitter at all.
No, it'd have been completely different kettle of fish last year if you hadn't have been kicked off, because you'd have probably qualified. You'd have probably placed higher. Where did you get to? Was it 4th?
No, I didn't drive last year. I kept on blowing my motor.
No. I mean,
every time you did drift.
I mean, the year before. The year before, with when you got disqualified because of the DeWalt box instance. Where did you finish?
Well, I got knocked out in the. I don't know. I would have finished. Don't know.
No.
Don't know.
Okay.
Well, my point is that year, or even the run up to that year, you'd consistently come 4th a lot.
I always come 4th. Yeah, always.
Matt has that issue. Whenever he does out, he comes 3rd.
It's not a fucking issue. It's don't want to get covered in cheap champagne.
It's tactical.
Yeah. It's definitely because I'm shit and someone beat me. It's because I didn't want to get covered in champagne.
4th every time takes some skill, I reckon.
It's a solid skill. Actually, Alex, you've gone from 32nd, haven't you, to winning it?
Oh yeah, I did that twice. I came from qualifying 33rd to 32nd, blowing a gearbox on the line, and me being ready, and then winning the event.
So you didn't even qualify and you won?
No, and I won.
No, to be fair, that is literally last year. That was Driftland last year for BDC. It's like, look, just get round the track and you'll qualify.
Yeah. The thing
just do one
pass.
pass.
That was that one, mate.
The thing with BDC Driftland last year, it was fucking embarrassing for drivers. But it had been wet all weekend, and then it dried out, and on entry there's a wet patch that run across the track.
It's fucking awful.
And if you hit that wet patch, you had to let off a bit, and when you got back on power, it just gripped up and you couldn't get round the big pull.
The problem with this
nobody had a shot at it until they first qualified.
The problem is an event like that, and then all the footage that comes out, and people who maybe drifting's on the periphery for them, right? They'll see a live stream and they'll go, "Oh, what's this about?" Click on it and they'll see that and they go, "This is fucking shit." And you're like, it's not your fault. It's not the driver's fault. It's just the conditions of the day, right? But then, if you were to put touring cars in the wet, they're all running specific tyres specifically for a wet event. You'd think that, the difference when you watch an entire touring car grid go round on a wet day, it's still fast, but they're all consistently doing the same speed. But the drifting in the wet, especially a place like Teesside where you've got those fucked up patches that make you spin out. Do you remember Buxton? Do you remember the back corner
square,
of Buxton?
The square
what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Like, there were two patches. There's an inner patch and then there's an outer patch. And like,
you had to have your front wheels on it or your back wheels. If you had all four, you were fucked.
You were fucked.
I was hoping that was still going to be there at BDC because that had fucked so many people over.
Could you imagine? Oh my god!
It's weird about Buxton. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's putting it out a banger track," and it was actually a fucking really good event.
It was incredible. Like, it was the absolute. Like, I'm so annoyed that I missed the first fucking day because I didn't realize it was on a fucking Friday, like an idiot. I'd seen the thing, and like most things in my life, I didn't read it. I just saw it and went, "Oh, it'd be on Saturday and Sunday." Turn up on the Saturday, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What's going on here? It's just like, this isn't normal. What's going on? Oh yeah, we've been running for like 2 days solidly, all through the night, and I'm like, through the fucking night. What the fuck are you on about? That sounds amazing. Where the fuck was me? And yeah, it was really, really impressive.
You wouldn't have got through pits anyway, Ali. I had to take splitter off front of my car to get through pits.
Yeah,
they did promise me that the pits would be in better condition, and that didn't get delivered. But the rest of it were pretty good, weren't it?
You sound like a drifter when proposing for sponsors. You know, when they promise them the world, and the driver gives them absolutely nothing.
No personality.
But it was the other way around. That it was the track in that position, not the driver.
Yeah.
It was a bit like Alex 2014.
When they screwed over Owen
and got nothing.
I didn't screw him over.
Not what they think, mate.
No, clearly not.
So you approve of Buxton then? You think it were good?
I do. The problem with Buxton is people will see how well that ran, and then they'll go and try and go. They'll go to a normal day there, and they'll continue to flip cars because they've taken out the red speed bumps, and it just seems to be every single event. Like if you've got good drivers, precision drivers in good cars. Even when it was wet, like, have you ever seen people go around Buxton at those speeds?
I was just going to ask you that.
Me.
Well,
like,
you started drifting there like me and Matt did, didn't you, Alex?
Yeah.
And like when you see the cars, like BDC cars with semi-slicks on, go around there, you're just like, oh my fucking God.
Well, all you had to look at was Martin Wallacott crashing. That's how quickly it goes wrong.
Yeah.
When it goes wrong, it's fucking bad.
Yeah,
I did the other thing. I was like, this is a bit too quick at one point towards them walls. It's a bit too sketchy, but everyone put like there weren't actually that many crashes. To be fair,
no. But like the atmosphere on the Saturday and the Sunday night were.
Well, I'd seen the live stream on the Friday night. Yeah. So the live stream on the Friday night, which is what I was like 60 miles away thinking I could actually do this, but I also had a very heavily pregnant wife at the time, and you were there, and I was
committed to the competition.
You were there talking about V8s with me and Mike Walton.
Yeah.
But even on the live stream, there was like, especially at the night, was just like a great atmosphere. It was brilliant to see. It was really genuine. Like, people were excited. There was a crowd of people in the grandstand. There was cars everywhere. It looked fantastic. And then Willie Rose, and then my guy in the R33 with the shininess. The wheel situation. Yeah, the other Willie. That wheel situation was like, that is the one downside to running at night. Is that something like that just is so easy to miss. It's the easiest thing to miss in the fucking world.
Just to let you know, if you want to watch one of the podcasts that me and Matt done, watch the one with Willie Anna. He has two of these fucking cocktails, and he is absolutely fucking hilarious. He's absolutely steaming.
Who's the other guy in the purple R33 in maybe semi-pro or pro tour, whatever the fuck you want to call it?
R33.
Purple.
Yeah, it's like a bluey purpley colour.
Oh, Nerigis.
Yeah. So are you going to stop him
dipping names?
Are you going to stop him dipping his tyres yet or not?
Am I going to
stop
him dipping his tyres? I don't know what he's dipping him in, but it's fucking horrendous.
What, the red smoke?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
That's a
bad batch.
That's Paulius and the E46, the Mad Cow tyres that side of it.
Isn't that the leftover of the bad batch of Zestinos? Or
I don't know. They fucking smell horrendous, though.
I know they're on Zestinos and they have like a bit of a pink smoke to them. They're definitely soaking them in something.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're soaking them in something.
At least they're not soaking them in bleach, hey.
Stu Jones is convinced he's smoking them in diff oil.
That's what it smells like.
Diff oil.
Surely if you soak it in diff oil, it's just going to make it slipperier.
Do you remember back when we first started doing competition drifting, like 2011, 12, 13, of a certain team that had a little bottle with bleach in it, and that bleach had a little thing on the squirter for the windscreen wipers, for the rear windscreen wiper. If that person pressed the rear windscreen wiper squirter, it would squirt bleach onto the back tyres.
Go on, tell us who
did that.
I'm not going to mention. I'm going to
predict.
What does it rhyme with? What does his name rhyme with?
Guess.
It was 2000. It was 7 years ago, Alex. There's no chance of him ever seeing this.
No,
it's not a current judge, is it?
What if they're still involved?
Oh.
Was it a Lassa car by any chance?
A pink one.
It sounds like a Lassa thing.
I don't know.
Who, Uncle Simon?
People speculated. People speculated. There was speculation had, and
yeah, but that's,
nothing was ever proved. It was all, you know.
Was it car loans for you?
For you,
Matt Samuel. It was Matt Samuel.
I heard it was Matt Samuel as well.
That's why he drove a 300 ZX. It had a big boot so he could fit up bleaching back.
That's what I heard. I heard that. That's what they fell out over, and that's why he didn't drive the following year. That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't because he wanted 10 grand.
No, it's to do with he got found out because he had bleach in his boot. Dirty bastard. Fucking using Mr. Muscle like that, bastard.
I had his missus with back with squirty bottles of Mr. Muscle.
That's what I heard. With a fucking oven cleaner on the tyre. Good to go.
That was Matt using oven cleaner.
Nick, oven cleaner?
Yeah, he used it as engine oil. That's how he fucking yeeted a rod out the block.
It's the only way you'd kill them reliable BAs.
RB.
Yes.
RB, something like that.
Yeah, they're really good at them.
I can't believe you're making like 50 horsepower per cylinder and it still throws a rod out the side.
You do realise Matt didn't change the oil. Matt built that car in 2015 and he did not change the oil.
He only drove it 5 times.
They took the rocker covers off and the head, it would like sludge in the head, all the fucking oil. All he did was top it up.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
That's why it blew up.
Wouldn't last fucking a drift day if you just topped it up.
Yeah, of course it would. That's how you get a nice silent VVT with fucking loads of sludge holding it. No, just all the sludge from the oil holds your VVT quiet.
Is there actually such thing as a VVT rattle? So I just thought it was bottom end rattle. But then everyone's like, nah mate, VVT.
There is, but the problem is every time some dickhead writes, oh, I've got this engine, it's got VVT rattle. You're a fucking liar, mate. You're a fucking liar. Right? It's never VVT rattle.
Oh, when they're selling it.
VVT rattle exists. Yeah. Do you remember that engine that Saul bought last year? VVT.
Oh, with the bottom end shot out of it, VVT rattle, yeah.
Well, what about the silver engine? What about the silver engine with the chrome top? The silver SR, VVT rattle. Span a fucking rod, span a fucking bearing.
Oh,
How easy is it to just fix VVT rattle?
You change the solenoid or the sprocket.
Yeah, you change.
Or in Alex's case, you put the fuse back in.
That was really embarrassing. That's something to consider. If ever you
fucking hilarious.
If ever you think you've got VVT rattle on an SR20, before you start even bothering to open anything, make sure the fuse for the VVT isn't blown.
Alex, have you still got the what happened to the good old Kevin, as you called it, the good old truck?
Oh yeah, what happened to that?
So about two years ago,
Matt, want to explain what Kevin is?
All right, so Kevin.
I need a pee. I'll be back.
All right, bye, Daniel. Kevin is what you guys referred to as the pikey truck from
I missed that thing.
2011. And he did a real good job. I mean, he took me to France, to Germany, to where else did he take me to? All around doing BDC, and I also did recoveries in it. And you could also get away with not MOT in it. I don't know if you guys realise this, but it came under this.
I never MOT'd it.
You could legitimately never MOT it, as weird as that sounds. It came under a really weird, very, very old class of MOT requirements that, as weird as it sounds, it would allow you to MOT it periodically when you basically felt like it. That changed in 2016. Probably.
Is that when you got rid of it?
Yes. Now I sold it to a lad called who did I sell it to?
I bet it's still going.
Did you ever go full
throttle? Where did it go in the end? Now that's the trick, you see. You never go full throttle on a banana.
Throttle. Matt told me, Matt was like, whatever you do, I used to borrow it all the time to go to BDC and stuff, and you're like, never go full throttle. 3/4 throttle everywhere and you're fine. And I think me and you were in it, Matt, when it went full throttle and throttle cable snapped.
Yeah, no one
snapped a few times, didn't it? But yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those. I snapped the throttle cable as well multiple times.
What are we on about?
I've just checked my old hiking truck.
Fuck me! Do you remember when you lent me that and I turned the heaters on and it set on fire?
Oh shit! Yeah, I did.
It's good that we've all had experiences with it.
That was because
we've all got lovely memories of it.
That was because some psychopath, Adam, had put the stereo in and twisted all the wires together using sellotape. Sellotape.
Well, that weren't me. It weren't my truck. I just borrowed it off Matt.
I'd spoken to you at.
Is this the kind of craftsmanship that comes out of Slide Motorsport?
Awesome
if you
Fest.
think I could fit a stereo,
Adam, who used it at Awesome Fest? Because whoever used it at Awesome Fest was the person who wired the stereo in using sellotape.
Me and Matt went and picked my craft saw up at Awesome Fest.
So it was either you or Matt. It was one of yours.
9 years ago.
Fuck, it was 9 years ago. That's so depressing.
I would like to think.
I'll tell you now, Kevin
went back and picked the. Well,
Kevin, who got named Kevin because in the first couple of months of me owning it, broke down like 1,000 times, and I needed a name. I needed a name to shout at the top of my voice.
Kevin.
Well, do you remember Home Alone? Do you remember Home Alone?
Yeah.
The mum shouts Kevin in like the most aggro way, and I just went, Kevin! So that's how he got the name. But no, I sold it to a guy called Liam Cook. Liam Cook, who owns a BMW E30 V8. Liam won't ever watch this. He'll never watch this. It's quite a good looking car. He's got some interesting front fitment issues, but
it's just got some fucking mega disappointment underneath the bonnet.
It has got some mega disappointment.
How could you be happy about it?
It took him so long. It took him so long to get the thing to work as well. I was like,
"What, the Pikey truck or the V8?"
No, the V8. The Pikey truck was fine, right? And he did the work because it needed. The reason why I was getting rid of it wasn't just that it needed an MOT because it hadn't had an MOT.
Stereo
wiring. I did that. It's fine now. Was the sills, the near side sill had completely fallen apart and was dead. So
it's a bit like your S14.
No, it's not even that bad. The Kevin was way better.
Jesus Christ. I don't know. But
Alex. I sold. No. I cut your front non-structural tub out and your strut tower collapsed. I cut a non-structural part out of the vehicle and the strut tower fell away.
Was that car not rotten when you bought it?
Yeah,
I'm sure I remember being at Buxton and one of like Manchester lads were like, I don't know why the fuck he's bought that because it's rotten as fuck. And it's still going now.
Alex covered it in seam sealer and thought it was okay.
I did. No, the problem was 2014, the year that guy had a mental breakdown and left us in the shit with some debt, which actually, to be fair, eventually...
How did he leave you in debt? If he was sponsoring you, how did he leave you in debt?
So he basically convinced a load of companies to do work on the cars and to do things like liveries, exhaust work, fabrication work. And then at the end of it, he was just like, I'm having a nervous breakdown, so...
You pay the bill.
Was this when you had the squiggle up the car and not the car loans for you?
Yeah, that was it. That was the first year we did the
car loans for you off?
Because a man from Dojo Interactive had told two gentlemen who were interested in money that they were going to get given £30,000 to do drifting.
It's mad, isn't it? Because they were never worth a tenner, let alone 30 grand. It's madness, isn't it? Really.
The point was, this guy had basically promised us. This guy had promised us the world. This guy had promised us the world, and albeit I was very, very happy to just continue with Car Loan for You. Car Loan for You was a mate of mine that I'd known. He's a guy that I'd known for about 20 years at that point from school. He was a guy.
Did you get a loan off him?
No, because he wouldn't give you loans for cars that you wanted. He'd only give you loans for fucking like Audi A1s and shit like that, like new cars. It was a car finance company, but not for like a 200.
Not for me.
No, I don't know what you for you. I don't know what you. They've actually changed the name now. It's called Zutos or something, or Zuto or some shit like that. But
why are you trying to get sponsorship?
Nah.
They're not about that life anymore.
We actually wrote a proposal once, didn't we? We was like, yo, can we have stuff? None of us compete, but our cars are fucking cool. And that didn't really happen. Well, we got a bit, but not much.
Yeah, we get. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, if we're at the point where we can finance our own stupid fucking shit by just people going to our store. Hey, head to the store.
From your limited company.
You can buy T-shirts and stickers and hats and things.
And Gabby's minted from it.
Shout out your mate. Look at this thread here. Let's just get rid of that.
Try one out, model it.
Corona on that now. There's fucking Corona on that
hat. You probably sell it for more money because it's got Alex's Corona on it.
Fuck's sake, COVID-19 all over the shop here.
While you're on about sponsorship stuff, though, do you not think the problem, irrelevant whether you're doing it like Slide did it for competition use, let's say, and you boys have done it just for a bit of fun, or to do whatever you want to do, the problem is people bullshitting. Literally.
Massively.
Your issue you've got is drivers, they've done it for years, is filling a company up with empty promises which they can't compete in. Like, you get so many drivers that are saying, yeah, building this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. So they send them all the parts they want, and then they never finish the car.
Yeah.
Ever. Or
empty promises that end up. Yeah. The problem with that is as well is it makes everyone else. It makes it difficult for anyone else to then approach anyone else.
I just see it as being morally right. If you say you're going to do something, fucking do it.
Follow it through. Yeah, it's not.
I mean, said for what I'm sat in. We said we were going to do it in September, and by January it were Autosports there done.
It weren't
like, if you say you're going to do something, do it.
I still remember. I don't know what event it was. It was definitely you, Adam, though. You'd blown your motor up, and because you'd agreed to have the car at each round, you actually trailered a car with a blown engine there just to have it on.
That would make
it Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had contract but a lot of people say, "Oh fuck that, I ain't doing that." I think it might have been at Rockingham or something.
Yeah, maybe. BDC round last.
Yeah. But because you had agreed with a company to have the car there, you actually made the effort to have the fucking car there.
And the other thing is that we never, we've probably done one at Best in UK at actually getting deals off of not 20% discounts off people, actual genuine good deals off people.
Yeah.
Never done it going, right, we're going to win everything or we're going to do this. Like, we've got it through, sounds gay, but people like us because we're straight up. We don't talk shit. Oh, we do talk shit. That's probably,
Let's be fair.
That's it. That's the important thing. It's honesty. Like, I know we've just sat here and just chatted a load of shit and it's a laugh and stuff, but people genuinely appreciate honesty. We did Adam Ivel's podcast the other day, and the most the thing that most people noticed was how much they appreciated the fact that Adam Ivel, a person who essentially sells stuff and does driving and stuff, he was very, very honest about an extremely bad experience he'd had with a company, and he felt like he was being a dickhead. But people were more interested in the fact that he was being honest about something that it's very hard to get honesty out of people. But exactly that's why we do these podcasts.
It's the best way, isn't it? Honesty, being honest about stuff. And
but you got to bear.
Then if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Sometimes it's good to be honest, but it's got us in trouble a few times on podcasts because I've just shit talked for no reason.
There's ways and means of doing it, isn't there?
No, there's being honest, and then there's being
I can't.
Yeah.
we've had different, like there have been other sponsors in. I'm not going to mention names because they are currently still a sponsor of ours, but they are. They are.
Matt, get a picture of the cars up.
They're not keen. They're not keen on us. They've mentioned when, like, if me and Dan have been talking about a specific company, they've been saying, is that really something necessary? That's
necessary.
Productive? Is it productive? Does it help? Does it, and I think to myself, like, no, it doesn't. But the long and short of it is people do appreciate that you can be honest about certain things. There is too honest about certain things. And I'll be honest.
Really think the long and short of it is I can't stop Dan from saying what he wants to say.
No, you can't.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
No, but the other thing is if I've had a shit time with a company, even if I'm trying to fucking pay retail or something for something, and I just said, oh yeah, they're really good to deal with, and someone else has a bad time, I'd rather cunt someone off a little bit and express my opinion against it, so they don't go and spend fucking $5,000 with the same company and get fucked over.
Yeah, there is
that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go for a piss, boys.
I done that. It was a bad time. I literally have a bladder of a toddler, so it's real bad times to drink beers.
How old are you two? How old are you, Alex?
I'm 35 this year.
What about
32.
you?
32.
How old are you, Matthew?
Still shit at driving.
24.
24, my arse.
32.
33.
You're 33, eh, Adam?
Where's he pissing?
Pissing in a bottle.
Pissing in the garage.
Oh, he's pissing in a bottle, isn't he? For sure.
Oh, dirty boy.
Nah, I know what he's doing. He's pissing in a bucket, and then he's going to rebrand it as quick detailing spray and put it in the fucking truck. That's what's going to happen.
Could do a detailing sponsor.
Well, we could as well. Anyone? Surely.
Don't we can't go down that road, Dan. Don't go down that road. Just don't go down that road.
I'm bored of seeing what shower gel I'm using for that week and washing my car with the same shit. It's getting boring.
Do you remember the detailing company we had last year? Actually, not last year. The year before.
What was that?
Yeah, that was terrible, wasn't it?
I mean, no. That company wasn't terrible. The company wasn't.
Oh
terrible.
yeah.
And their company wasn't terrible. It was good.
What does it rhyme with?
Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Let's just say a representative got mad with Dan, and then
I can see people would get mad. A reoccurring theme here.
Yeah, people get mad with Dan, and that's it.
We lose everything.
We lose sponsors.
So is this why the whole 75-25 0 for Dan? Is that why that exists?
Yeah. So
I don't know why, because I'm a fucking delight.
Who told you that?
My mum, obviously. Who else is going to tell you?
Christ on a bike, Daniel.
Comedy. Are you going to do any drifting this year, either of you?
Yeah, we're allowed.
Is any of us going to do any fucking drifting? Yeah, our intention this year was to do. The first event was going to be a Chassis Fest in
Driftland.
Yeah,
Driftland. That's being organised by Martin.
Yep.
And I don't know whether that's been postponed or cancelled.
Yeah, one or the other.
It's one or the other.
So how do you plan for that?
Well, it's where does money arrive back in your account or not?
Who knows? We'll figure that out.
But so there was that. Then there was we'd been invited last year to.
Well, to be fair, wait there. What day is it? Monday. I was meant to have won Drift Cup yesterday.
We had this conversation earlier about
BDC.
It's not competing; it's taking part. Dan, you were going to take part.
I was going to win.
Oh, okay.
This is the thing, right? Win. The low origin is clearly the outward appearance of low origin is that we're not particularly competitive. Dan is the most competitive person. He's been chasing a reliable 500 brake horsepower for an SR20 for nearly 2 or 3 years now, and I think
2 years.
I think he's nearly there.
I cracked it.
He's only there because we're on fucking lockdown and he can't use his car.
Yeah.
No, I did. I drove it the other day.
In 3 weeks.
I think
what you're best off doing, Dan, is putting a 1J in like Alex said he's going to do when his SR blows up.
I'd still have Dave build me a 1J.
Yeah,
whatever you do, don't put a BMW box on because they're fucking shit.
I'd put a CDO9 on the back of it. Or a sequential because I'm that big of a deal.
We'll start ringing some sponsors now, Dan. We'll start.
Yeah, get yourself a deal. Just
I genuinely priced one up, and I was like, brilliant. I'm going to have to start selling feet pics, ain't I?
Feet pics. An OnlyFans account for feet pics.
I'm going to have to. I've got no choice. They're like fucking 10 grand.
Surely you could start like a low origin OnlyFans for all your pictures and stuff, rather than posting them on Instagram. I bet
low origin OnlyFans. I don't think you know what OnlyFans is for, Adam. Right?
Adam's got an OnlyFans account.
Yeah, mate, I get my backs out on it all the time.
It's a very niche market.
Very niche.
Very niche.
Jesus Christ. Christ on a bike. I'm just visualizing that would be just, an OnlyFans for low origin. Why not?
Yeah, if you fuck Instagram and Facebook off, move it to OnlyFans, you can put like blurry pictures on Instagram. I bet people would pay it.
We can't fuck our Instagram off. We're like 27k. That's like genuine followers. It's like that fucking BDC Facebook page full of robots and fucking fakes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not denying it.
Do you know what? We've mentioned this before, like multiple times, and different people have mentioned it. I think Adam Ivel mentioned it as well, and it was the brutality of the early days of when those pages were made up, like the Jap Speed page, the BDC page, there was another one, that Faster.
Yeah, Fastar's like YouTube.
Carlon's for you.
Carlon's for you. No, well, there's never had anything.
No, I got one of the teams. No, it were Boss Motorsport.
Yeah,
was it Boss Motorsport?
And the drivers from Boss Motorsport.
Well, the point is, it has such. I actually genuinely think you guys have somehow managed to turn the reach gate around for that particular page.
It has got half decent reach.
Yeah, well, my point is that like the actual engagement from actual fans, people not because the problem is the Facebook algorithm just sees like nearly 1 million likes and goes, I'll just show it to like 10% of people.
Yeah.
But the problem is 10% of a random number of your page likes is like nearly 100% fucking bots, which is unfair because there are actual hardcore fans of the BDC who want to see you shit, but they can't see you shit because there's a big pile of these fucking. Do you remember the click farms? Like, I remember when it was such a big deal. Like Jap Speed had worked out how to. It was specifically something that you changed in the settings of the page to get it to essentially become, it went from like 60,000 likes of like all right, relatively genuine likes to 900,000, and the vast majority of it was just.
And let's be honest, 900,000 people don't like Jap Speed stuff. They just don't.
You're right in what you're saying though. Like the likes on the BDC Facebook page, it's useless. It's like
it's counterproductive. It's counterproductive for what you're trying to do. Exactly that. It makes it
at
harder.
Some point, we'll start another thing and start again with it. Definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to at this point because, like I said,
it's working at the moment.
It is working. You can see that the people who regularly engage, those people are regularly being shown in the reach. It's prior to that where it was just a random, the algorithm must literally look at 900,000 people and then randomly disperse the reach to, whereas now it's found the people who are actually genuinely engaging on the page and it's showing them, which I don't know how you do that, but it's clearly getting there. But yeah, I remember like when you guys first took over the BDC, it was like, the first couple of posts were like, we've taken over the BDC. It was like 3 likes. I'm like, this is not how this is supposed to go.
Actually, while we're on this subject, because I don't run any social media anymore. Matt does it all, and he does a good job. To be fair to him, like
yeah.
But
maybe he did it all.
What kills Mac is I've only done 1 post on Instagram, or maybe about 5 posts on Instagram. Mine's the highest liked one out of all the BDC ones, and he's been doing it for 12 months. I've been paying him for 12 months to do it. He can't even out-like me, and I don't know what I'm doing on social media.
Literally,
what's the highest
on Instagram? Don't put hashtags.
Yeah, don't put
hashtag anything.
Don't at anyone. The problem is sponsors will ask you, as our sponsors do, They will ask us to do
it.
@ and hashtags, and that then kills the reach for Instagram. It's the most counterproductive thing anyway. What's the highest viewed video on the BDC page?
I already know
on
the
Facebook.
You should know this, Matt. You don't, dear.
It'll be Alex. It'll be Alex's car.
No, it's
It's me driving through. It's me
With
driving
doors
through a fucking KFC with my doors up.
Oh, but is it? What is it?
Yeah, genuinely
It's
is.
literally that. It's
How many?
literally that. It's like 400,000 views on a me driving through a fucking a drive-through in Scotland, and the audio was cut out of it by the Facebook, the old Facebook algorithm, which would cancel.
You know when you did the KFC video, and Matt did one, like in Sainsbury's car park or something.
Oh, with Kyle.
With Kyle Chisholm talking to him. Like the outcuts in that is the fucking best thing ever.
Amazing. The outtakes were the best bit of all of them. Like all of the.
Most people do watch it all up into the outtakes.
Well, in this conversation of these videos, does anyone remember Danny Grundy?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
We asked this last night on our chat.
Danny,
some Lithuanian drift championship or something.
To put bluntly, Danny's skin. I think he's got like a BM still, and he wants to come back to it, but he's got no money.
That's the problem is when you start doing well, and you're like, okay, cool, this is something that I'm enjoying, and then you literally just get lost in the build. Yeah, and that's it.
The problem with Danny Grundy, right, was he had a great personality. He was a great, he was quite a sellable. It was quite a sellable thing. Like, if sponsors getting involved with Danny Grundy, it was a sellable thing.
Yeah.
But the car just constantly came across as like this. It looked like
it had an SR in, so surely you two liked it.
Yeah, but 100% it was fucking Wally tune. That's why it's flat on its ass.
It weren't.
It did some good jobs.
Weren't it?
So it was Wally tune then?
No, Wally doesn't tune any Garage D stuff.
He must have.
He don't.
It's
John Allen. I don't know if I should say. The person I've just said tunes all Garage D stuff.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway.
Anyway, jump off that bridge and then I'll kill myself.
But yeah, so so Danny Grundy was a great. It is weird because you'd have expected people to, like, some sponsors to jump on how quickly.
We know it don't work like that though. Sponsors don't jump onto drivers. It's it's got.
Well, they do sometimes. They do sometimes, and if
an example.
The year that Owen Development started dishing out turbos to people, and like Dojo Interactive, which was a psychopath who had a nervous breakdown. He was promising us all the money in the world, but like actual sponsors, so like Forge Motorsport love giving people money and stuff, and giving actual stuff. Work Wheels from
but jumping
our deal.
What you were saying then is jumping onto drifters. What sponsors?
Yeah, because they were like
Link.
It's not a drifter that then
Link
applies for it.
I got a Link deal from getting a.
But did you ask for it or was it approached?
I got approached. I got.
Yeah. So they're the ones.
It were off the Looney, who I'm friendly
with. Didn't I shit talk Link at one point?
Yeah, you did, Dan.
That's probably why you had to pay for your ECU, Dan.
No, I apologise. I said I'm sorry. I was frustrated. No, I'll tell you why it is. I was frustrated because my ECU was locked and I couldn't data log it at the same time. You can't data log a locked ECU, and it pissed me off.
Right? If you don't use Martin Batty, your ECU won't be locked.
No, it's still. I don't
that's
mind.
the be all and end all of it.
No, TeamViewer.
I think Link are really good, though, aren't they? Like they're brilliant, aren't they? They are a partner of the BDC. I've got a lot of time for Link, and they're great, and they're doing a lot of good things.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, the Link works
Dan's
on mine.
moaning about his mapper, not about Link. The wonderful company who supplied these.
I just complain about something either way, but my car works.
It does. It does work. Yours and Danny's work. The two members of Low Origin who were going to be competing this year. Their cars are ready to compete this year. My car,
And they're
not so
both-
much.
Wait. There you go, Matt. And they're both on Link ECUs.
Good man. Have they both got Yandel engines as well?
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
I'm a fan of Yandel. I think he's good. He's a good man.
Absolute babe.
Yeah, he's a real good guy, and I cannot wait to. I say I cannot wait. I can wait because I need to wait till the end of April to finalise all of the.
The thing is, with a lot
all of my
with a lot of
taxes.
stuff, like Dave Yandel gets a lot of bigging up by people, and like sometimes you think, well, everybody's just bigging him up, but like the proof is in the pudding with his
Yeah, it really
builds,
is.
innit? All the ones they don't do actually work. And
The thing is the after. I say aftercare. We start. You know, I'm happy to sing his praises because long and short of it is he's done a lot of favors for us. But his aftercare in the sense that he out of nowhere will just message the page or message us individually, like, how's the engine? Is there anything that needs doing? Have you done this? You need to change the oil, or you need to change this or change this filter.
Matt should maybe get him to build his engine if he tells you to change.
No, honestly,
but reminders like that are things, especially people like me,
a little
who's
text
very
service.
forgetful.
It's time to change your oil.
Yeah,
You've done couple of events now, lad.
Because that engine's got his fucking name on it. He wants to make sure that it's. It doesn't.
That's what you want, though, isn't it? They're the big type of people you want to be working with.
Do you know what as well, though? Like,
exactly.
I've worked with a few people who, your sponsorship, you get cheap deals, right? But like with Dave, he's helped me out. Do you know what I mean? But there's no deal there. Like, I use Dave for building engines with sliders and stuff because he's fucking good and he's fair.
Yeah, he's the best you can get. Yeah.
I don't want any deals. I'd love a deal off him, but it's just a case of just do this because I know it's going to be right.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the rubber stamp of it's done right by Dave. Therefore, everything else is a problem.
If we take my car to a drift day,
well, you could just buy a crate engine, then you wouldn't need Dave Yandel.
Yeah, we would, because we'd still be faced with a lot of disappointment.
I'm gonna have my V8 and just ask Dave to text me when it needs an oil change.
What? So you're just gonna pay him for like the reminders?
No, you drop a V8 off to Dave, and he'll just say it's shit, throw it in the bin, and give you a 2J back.
He'll say like, "This is what dreams are made of."
They're not, though, are they? They're just.
Someone told me they were.
It depends what your dream is. If your dream is to be noisy and have no fucking talk, then.
Adam, what did you say earlier? What did Toppo say about SRs?
Toppo says about SRs.
Wait there, okay. Your V8, how much power does it make?
Not as much as your SR, but...
Okay, how much torque does it make?
I ain't got a fucking clue. But all I know is, the one thing that matters to me is... I imagine... All I did was change the oil. What did you do last year, Dan, after every event?
Change the engine.
I didn't. I took the head off once. I did have to take the head off.
Because it's same block. Are you one of them? I only put 2 pistons in it.
No. We rebuilt the whole engine last year, didn't we?
And 4 rods.
Yeah.
Same engine.
No, we done a block, head, crank, pistons, rods, squirt.
All right, calm down.
The fucking lot. Had to. But yeah.
Good now, I think this whole situation is what you want, innit? Whereas I just want a car.
We all started in the same place.
Right, just hang fire, right? This comes down to, I think the core of this is watching drifting, right? When I watch a V8, whether it's a 4 to 600, well, maybe not 600, but let's say a 3 to 500 brake horsepower V8. Yeah, it looks good. It looks and sounds good, but a lot of it does feel like you're in the same gear. There's less aggro. You're low down in the rev range, and unless you're running like very short exhaust pipes, there's no immediacy. There's no. It's not.
You know what? I've actually got a big
face.
I've got a bigger problem. I've got a bigger problem with Wisefab with the wheels sticking out the arches than I do V8s. Yeah. It just looks fucking dog shit. It's unexciting.
Have you ever drove a car with Wisefab on?
I don't want to. Yeah, it looks fucking terrible.
You don't, mate. It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah, but it looks fucking terrible.
I've drove my Z4 and Matt's E92, and they're both shit. The steering in it is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
You get into the thing is you get into a car that's got like Dan's on Destroy. I drove Dan's for the. Have I driven your car before the December? Probably not. Either way, so I've had Geomasters for probably 7 or 8 years, and then I drove Dan's car, which was on the new Destroy or Die drop knuckle, which is
it's just on his cut. Yeah, it's a cut knuckle.
It's a shut knuckle. And okay, yes, slightly less lock, but the feel through the front was completely different. I'd not experienced that since I had the Super Clarky knuckles from Drift Garage many years ago. Way back when. And the car that I'd driven with Wisefab, that was the same day I drove Clive Littlechild's S14 with a V8, a BM V8 in it. And that, again, I mean, it's a different kettle of fish, because what are they? The BM V8s were like 200 and nothing brake horsepower.
Yeah. You can't compare BM V8 to
I know. But what I gathered from that was that was on a dry day at Anglesey, and I stuck it in 5th, and then just the rest of it was the throttle, and it was all throttle, and that's fine, but like, I'm not saying
it's not fine.
I think that's more to do with your ratios, mate.
I was feeling like, it's really hard to describe. I don't possess the vocabulary or the intelligence to tell you why, but I just didn't feel the aggro or aggression that I get from a 1J or an SR20.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Look at Phil Morrison's LSX. Right, that seems to be the most terrifying, screaming, shouty, loud, high revving. There's a lot of clutch.
But do you not think that's just how Phil drives it?
I think Phil would prefer to drive it with less mechanical. With less mechanical grip. I think he'd really prefer less of everything. Generally, with that, every time he gets out of it, he looks like he's seen his own ghost. Yeah. He looks tired. He looks like he's seen his own ghost in a car somewhere that's dead. But yeah, that's a different kettle of fish, because that thing's just. I don't know how you make a naturally aspirated V8. I mean, he clearly knows how to make a naturally aspirated V8 that powerful, but
with about 50 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not lie about it. I'm not saying that to be weird, but to build a motor that high strung with that parts on it, it's not fucking cheap.
I crashed into that on its very first maiden voyage.
Well, Matt ripped the Driftworks S15 off in a 325. Anglesey.
It's all about commitment.
Talking
of commitment, do you remember that fucking dude in the R33? Was it an R33 that wrote off your Sora, Adam?
Yeah,
Awesome Fest.
Nick.
That was depressing.
Statham.
Yeah, Nick Statham.
No, it weren't the best thing at all.
It was the worst thing ever. Yeah, I remember watching that. Watching that was quite.
Now if it went for that.
Yeah, watching that happen was because it was a fucking hard hit.
Yeah,
it was a really hard hit, and he'd gone past a Marshall that was flying was it a yellow or a red flag? Doesn't matter. Yeah. My guy decided to do a fucking one of these and just
BDC wiggle.
Yeah, BDC wiggle, and goes through Adam, pushes Adam beyond the gravel into like another dimension.
Because I hadn't actually gone in gravel. I come off of the track and I was waiting for a gap to get back on. But then there were like 6 cars come round really slow. Then he come in like full tilt backwards.
Yeah, that was.
And then I went against him at BDC.
Yeah, you won it. Oh, you crashed into him. It was brilliant. Matt got pulled against him at BDC. I'm like, Matt, you better fucking crash into him. It didn't disappoint, did you, Steve?
Oh my God. You can't admit to things like that.
It's worth losing a battle just to go through someone who's a cunt, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, I remember.
I'd do the same.
2000...
You've got to look out for your mates, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. I'd just go through them. I wouldn't even try and brake, just fucking ram them.
I remember 2012, the end of that season. The end of that season, he ended up as the 4th member of our team at Skid Row, and I didn't realise he was the same guy that had crashed into Adam until he mentioned it. He was like, "Yeah, God, I remember." And he told me the story from his perspective.
Mate, the worst thing about it was they put us all in an ambulance after, you know, because like it was at a proper track and stuff.
Oh, it was. It did look like a hard hit. So
there were like 2 people in my car, 2 people in his. We sat in back of this ambulance and he just went, "I've got another R33 shell at home. Like, it don't really matter." I was just like, "You've just ripped my fucking car off, you prick."
Yeah. The thing is, in a completely avoidable crash as well.
Yeah.
Like it was complete. Like it's very clear. Your car was pretty much pointing back down the track. Your car was painted luminous green. It was like the greenest fucking green.
No, it was peppermint green. It was peppermint green, not luminous.
It wasn't. Yeah, but my point was, it wasn't like it was blending into the fucking background, and he just missed it. It was a bright car, and he just comes stonking down through it. Was it a yellow flag or a red flag that he stonked?
I can't remember. Red.
Because I think it was red. Because he says there was no flags. He said there was no flags. Yeah, I think it was a red. He stonks through it and just goes plow. Because the thing is, why, if there was no flag, was the 6 cars in front of him
driving round?
Just driving
gripping.
Round.
Yeah.
You know what the worrying thing about all this is? That was nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah, Bob.
I didn't even know what drifting was then.
What were you doing then, Dan?
Racing motocross.
So were you not at Awesome Fest anyway, racing motocross?
Yeah, that's how I knew what drifting was.
Right.
So that was that day. That was literally the day you discovered how terrible you could make your life.
Yeah, it's like Mallory Park. Went to Mallory because Mallory had a motocross track back then. They don't now. Yeah, riding there, it's like, oh, I could destroy my life this way, I guess. That's cool.
that was such a, like, Gerard's became, there was the Devil's Elbow, which was a bit, just did a bit of a skid on, and then there was Gerard's, and everyone was like, even like real basic crappy cars, you'd be like, you could pull off Gerard's
with enough speed.
With enough speed. But if you got it wrong, fuck me, it was bad. It was a really.
Would you not love to go back now, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
but crucially, the reason why we can't go back was so many people ended up doing burnouts on the way out of that place. And one guy.
No, you can't do shit there now. What happens is, obviously the track was there and it was on its own, and they built a village around it, and people bought houses there, and then people retired and didn't like the noise anymore.
But was the noise not from at Awesome Fest? They shut the party down at like 11, and then the SX Owners Club had their own little party until like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know, but either, like, they don't do anything there really anymore. They do the odd track day, like odd bike track day. That's it. Nothing exciting, nothing wild, no noisy days, nothing.
Time Attack were there last year, weren't it?
It's just it's got some new owners now. Some new people are running it, so it's just starting to.
Hey, Matthew, maybe
seems like somebody's been talking to him.
Yeah, Matt's already emailed him and said, "Drifters, absolutely fucking not."
Absolutely not
for me.
Well, yes, but Daniel, what does Matthew have that we don't and nobody else has? He has an email.
Oh, he has a BDC email address.
That's his in.
It's an annoying email address though, like the British.
No, it's not. It's a golden ticket to anything. The amount of times you try to rent stuff or do stuff.
Did you hear like that?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. What?
So it just go ba-doing. Do you know, like on these chats we've been having, I've been talking about how my shifters stopped working. I've just touched the top of it, and springs and bits and bobs have all shot out of it.
Wait there. No, my gearbox is perfectly mint, mate.
Oh, my gearbox is fine. It's just my shifter.
Let me pull it together for you.
Remote linkage, mate.
It's a good box that as well that Dan's got. It's a good find. It was a cheap gearbox for what it is. Like I'm tempted to try and get one myself because they are. It's like a guaranteed CD09, and you need one little shim. Are we giving away a secret here, Dan?
Don't do it.
Is this anyway?
So it's
just literally just buy a 370Z gearbox. That's it.
Yeah, but the Nismo 370Z.
Oh yeah,
Nismo 370Z manual, obviously, guaranteed CD09, and it has that auto blip thing, which nobody's ever going to use. But there's an option for it on the Link ECU that it's not the one that you have, but it's one that somebody else had. I don't see what the function of an auto blip would be.
I bet it's this one.
I think it'd be fucking useless.
Hang on.
What are you going to do, Adam?
That one, isn't it?
No, that don't say Cybex on it, mate.
Mate, it's a Thunder.
Thunder from down under.
Oh God, Thunder from down under.
Where have you gone?
Who, me?
No, Dan just dropped his phone.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we've been chatting shit for ages now. You know that.
Should we do some questions from our loyal fan base?
Nobody wants to ask anyone anything. Matt will never answer any questions.
These are questions for us.
These are questions from our loyal fan base. When I say loyal, I mean just some,
they're just people,
just some folk. Yeah. Right. So let's have a look here. So this one comes from Adam Simmons Drifting. Any chance you could use a pic where I don't look like the guy off the Goonies?
Hey, you guys!
I'll make this easy. No,
we can't.
No. That was the only picture I could find of you guys stood next to each other where you look like professional racing human beings. So
we're not professional racing human beings. This is.
I'm an athlete. Definitely.
Are you gonna change the BDC rules yet so I can have a full interior, or is that? I mean, it's not.
We've already told you the fucking thing so you could get in. You get a 1 round pass.
Yeah, but what about round 2? Because I'm obviously going to win.
There's no point. No, you're making numbers up, mate.
You might win Drift Cup.
Oh, that's easy. That's no drama. Just drive through people.
All right. Here's the next question. Okay, so this is from Big Dave Z20 on Instagram. Do the LS men expect a good showing from the SR20s in the BDC this year? And when we say this year,
there ain't going to be any, is there? Only one Rolly Bolton, and he's having an RB.
No. But he's using another car, isn't he?
Not anymore. No, it's been delayed.
Fuck! I've already told you. We've been over this. You can run the BDC. You're adhering to the 2 meter rule.
It's running SR. Who's running SR? Charlie Hume. Who else?
Oh yeah, Charlie is.
Yeah.
I'd like to see.
Charlie.
I like Charlie.
Flag.
No, I like Charlie, but
I knew there were a but. But what?
I mean, he got a lot of hype very quickly from NEC, which was he drove very, very well, and he went up into the pros and blah 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 bullshit blah. I'd like to see that car compete on a sunny, dry day and see what it can do. Because I mean,
that's the problem. That's the problem. It's the exact same. It's the exact same. What we used to refer to as a perfect storm, where an idiot like me, with very little power or skill, could get through to Super Pro, because I got a year of wet tracks. I got a year of
not qualifying and winning,
and then other people being unable to drive as slow as me, and that got me a Super Pro license and ultimately put me into a very, very strange position where I was practically I had to make a lot of changes to make the car more competitive.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Charlie. He's a very good driver.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's
a much better driver than me. I'll say that.
Yeah. But it's just when you're going up against a 600 horsepower 2J that's in Pro 2 in the dry, it's
on 265s.
Yeah, he's running a 265 Kenda now, but
it's a different kettle of fish.
But the Kendas are a bit shit, aren't they?
They're not the best. I mean,
they seem fine.
If someone's on a Tri-Ace or a Zestino or soft or, you know what I mean, extreme or whatever like that, then I think they're going to get ruined. Because them extremes seem to be a good tyre. I don't know why, but...
Well, the extreme tyres...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about them. They're another one that we're not allowed
I'm trying to be nice because I think they're sponsored by them now.
I was holding back there. I was like, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, I'm trying to be nice.
Fucking slag them off.
No, I'm not going to now.
Well, we're not going to. Their pyramid scheme is fantastic.
Yeah, the pyramid scheme is fucking brilliant.
Anyway, other questions from non-pyramid scheme in Instagram users.
Alex, if we buy their toys, we can have 4% off.
Hey, and if you sell to other people, they will get you 3% off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
but we're not going to talk about that pyramid scheme. Extreme pyramid.
Adam92 off of Instagram, he says, when are they going to make good fitment part of the fucking rules? Good question, Adam.
It weren't me. Don't look at me like that.
No. It's Adam32.
It's like any rules. We don't want to bring any rules in that's going to knock too many people out. So we need to bring them in steadily.
So people can have to park in certain places.
It's fine. It's not a serious question. Let's be honest.
I think it should be a rule that if you run a livery, which all the pros do, the driver's side has to be reversed. I'm bored of looking at unsymmetrical cars.
But then what if the words are backwards and you can't read them?
Yeah, you can read, yeah, but they're meant to be backwards.
But it's cool, and that's all that matters.
The car is symmetrical.
Don't even do it anymore because it's not cool.
They do.
That's because they're lazy now.
And also, they do
it's not cool anymore.
No, they do it because they're trying to emulate American and European style drifting because that's what they've always done. Right, next question.
Next question.
This is from #66, and he's written in brackets Darren Huxley, just in case we don't know. When is Silverstone coming to a BDC round again?
It weren't really ever at a BDC round, were it?
No, it weren't.
They were tracked and it
tiny
just got rushed through every year.
Of thing.
No, like the only thing you can say was that D1 GP, weren't it? It was there.
Yeah. Have you ever driven Silverstone?
Yeah, I had. It was fantastic.
What did you actually think it was? Did you not do 3 laps then go? This is pretty boring. You just enter in 4th gear and then you just go, your foot flat to the floor and you steer left and then you steer right.
If you enter excitingly and not on the hydro, Adam, you'd have a much better time.
Do you not see the picture of my fucking R33 exploding?
Yeah, but I bet you dragged it in on the handbrake.
I didn't. I flicked it, mate.
Yeah,
last ever lap I did my 33.
Flicked it, mate.
Flicked one of them.
Gave it the fucking wiggle, mate.
The BDC wiggle. All right, okay. So there's no plans to do.
I don't know. I'm not.
I was trying to get away in edgeways, but Adam was telling you about all his flicks into fucking Silverstone. No, I was. First year.
Boring.
Shut up, Adam. Last year we were going to go to Silverstone. There was a slight potential that we were going to go there with a joint event with Driftmasters, basically. But it was 2 weeks before the Formula One, and Silverstone, it got to director level to sign off, and they wouldn't sign it off because it was 2 weeks before Formula One. Too dangerous, too risky.
What track I'd prefer to see over Silverstone is it
Buxton?
No, Donington. Is it Donington?
What, and go on the launch pad?
No.
I'd do Launchpad. I'd do Launchpad again.
No,
but everyone raves about Launchpad.
Why
don't get me wrong.
Just rave about car parks because your cars are too low to go anywhere else?
No.
Yes.
What track?
Exactly.
If we fit in the same car park as track, then we're fine.
Do a fucking Mayhan inspired track, for Christ's sake. Just get a car park and just do a Mayhan
BDC
track.
can't drive it.
I mean,
BDC drivers can't drive it. We've seen it.
Neither can your fuckers. You're all smashed your cars up there.
Yeah, but it's exciting though, isn't it?
But we knew, But we knew what lines we knew we were supposed to adhere to a line.
Look, I've done more laps on that track than anyone on FR Legends.
There's a video somewhere of Mito and Phil Morrison battling at a track where Mito nearly drives through Phil a million times and then doesn't.
What? There's a video of Mito driving?
Yeah, it's in black and white.
How do you think he's going to do at BDC?
He's going to be fantastic, or at least he'll tell everyone he is. I'm going for a piss.
Okay.
What, with the questions?
He's took the questions with him.
Yeah.
You've just asked a question.
Come on, Dan.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think of... I mean, I get on with Mito. I don't know is the answer. I don't think...
an honest answer, like...
I don't think...
Do you think he'll be all right? Do you think he'll not?
It totally depends. If he fucking gets out of his own ass and does what the judges tell him to do on a line, then he'll do well, I think. But if he just does I don't like that line, I'm going to do my own thing, he's going to fucking suck massive dick, isn't
he? Yeah. I'm looking forward to see what he pulls out of the bag. Like, see, like he hadn't drove in competition for a while and whatnot, but I'm quite, I don't know, I think he could upset a few people. And
his car's fast, man. It is fast.
There's a lot of people slagging him off, saying he can't do it. And I think if you turn up with like the attitude, where people are saying you can't do it, then you've got that thing in your head wanting to prove them wrong.
The only reason people say he can't do it is because everyone knows Mitto's very opinionated and he's set on his opinion, and that's it. So people don't like that and instantly just want to watch him fail. That's all it is. So I think, I don't know. I reckon he'll do well.
Talking, yeah, exactly. I think he's going to do all right. It's a real tough one because, as you say, you can't really.
I reckon he'll fuck a lot of people up at Three Sisters. You know, where there's a lot of transitions, a lot of switchbacks, a lot of slowing and accelerating. I think he'll fuck a fair few people up there.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, I feel like his nerves, and because he's been so vocal about things like line and judging and shit like that, because of how vocal he's been about those things, I think nerves could be a problem for Mitto. It's been a long time. And
they might be, but
he's talked a big talk.
If he can channel them nerves into the I just want to prove everybody wrong that slagged me off on the
internet. Think he'll do well. I honestly
think he could be fucking dangerous, I think.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
I've never seen him drive. Like, I've been drifting for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
I saw him drive once at Donington years and years ago. But other than that, I haven't. But
I think that's where I've seen him. That's where I've seen him drive as well.
I'd like to see him prove everybody wrong. When you just see everybody slagging him and stuff, I'd like to see him turn up at BDC with
his car
a bit of
was
fire behind him.
Before the new engine, his car was like 340, 350 horsepower, and now everyone knows Rockingham, that outer paddock has got no grip to it, has it, really? If you drove it, you know it's got no grip on it.
No, it's horrendous.
Yeah, and his car was genuinely fast, like even on scrubbed on Zestino. So on a brand new tyre on a track that's actually had rubber laid down on it on a dry day, I reckon he'll do well. But, I don't know. This is all Isputs and coconuts because Corona and all that.
Well, exactly that. Talking of that, next question. So from a man called Maxed Rich, he would like to know, when the fuck are you bringing the BDC back to Lidden Hill?
Never. Shit.
You think?
I hate it.
I'm ready to go back. I haven't been to that.
I'd happily never go back.
If you could only go one way, like the normal way or the opposite way, which would you go?
Opposite way is fucking fantastically. It looks hilarious, but if you run it clockwise, it's shit because all you've got is a massive burnout up the hill.
Yeah.
But you've got the power to do it now, Dan.
No, but you're pretty much straight, ain't you? You've got about 3 degrees of angle doing a rolling burnout up a hill. Absolute fucking yawn fest.
I think backwards is good though.
Yeah.
Backwards would be amazing because it's off camber. It's a fast entry off camber going down a hill.
Yeah, it were pretty sick.
Only been run wet though. That's the problem. Only run it wet.
Is that it now? There's only wet.
As it stands at the minute, yeah. It could run there, but it's got to be wet.
It's pointless then.
It's pointless. Okay, well, next question. So this comes from the entire internet rain posting, which you may or may not be aware of.
It's not us.
But it's not us, so they can send in questions. It says, have they made it good yet? I'm ready to come and watch it if they have.
100%. This year is going to be savage.
Come to Buxton. Buxton's best one.
I mean, I'll be honest. They've actually sent in three questions. Two of them don't make a great deal of sense, but I'll try and make sense of them. More danger.
What you said about the spelling?
I honestly don't know who sent these in. I don't know if you know the entire internet rain posting page at all, but
yeah.
There's probably annoyingly we aren't anything to do with it, but there are about 15 different admins, so it's really hard to tell who's actually writing shit. We're under strict instructions to never mention who any of these admins are, but
so Alex, me.
Here's one from them. What about some less boring fucking cars and some drivers that can put a full lap in, for fuck's sake?
Well, if you boys took your interiors out, then you might get in, eh? Then you spice it up.
Hey, Max been asking me to do Battle Royale.
You what?
Max been asking me to do that Battle Royale.
You could do Battle Royale, yeah. If you,
yeah,
maybe.
I think
that was a really good idea. That.
Why don't you try and put a team competition together? Because there's enough of these low boys and whatnot that they could all make teams, and then you could have
if you allowed Low Origin to do a team event, like when BDC used to do the team events, we'd absolutely fuck everyone up in the BDC because they can't drive together.
Dan, the only thing you fuck up is your SR20.
No, but the only team I've ever seen do well at Team Drift was actually Slide.
Yeah, it was you guys. You're the only guys that can drive together.
Yeah. The rest of them
two of them people don't even drive anymore.
We're retired.
Fuck. Oh, retired driving.
Yeah.
Come on, next question.
Think about that.
Next question.
We probably haven't got any.
Hit me.
Let's make questions up.
Yeah.
I actually think we're out. Are we out of questions?
Because your fan base would have more than this.
Yeah, but we said BDC and they didn't give a fuck.
We'll tune in next time. Mate, if anybody watches the full length of this, what we're on now, 10 hours or something. If anyone watches,
I guarantee they will.
You'd be surprised if you upload any of these if you do a podcast and you upload them to iTunes or anything like that, you find that there are some proper nutcases that will listen to this right to the very end and give them
a shout out, mate. You give your fans a shout out.
To them at work, don't you?
The majority of them will listen to the entirety of a podcast. So
and then they'll message the page saying, "Oh yeah, you said this, and that." I do not fucking remember saying that at all.
I was pissed.
I've got there's 3 other questions, but they're all the exact same statement from the entire internet.
Ask it 3 times if you want.
It just says more danger, more danger, more danger. Now I don't know if that means Dan Pryor. Yeah, a jump would be good.
Oh mate, a jump would be sick.
There's potential of a jump this year.
I'd love a fucking jump.
What? You can't leave us like that.
Of course he will.
Where's this jump?
In his imagination, because he still thinks BDC 2020 is a thing.
Yeah, we're not even going to do any drifting this year.
No. Round 3 is at Baihoku or something in Japan.
Yeah,
that's the only way it's going to happen.
It's literally going to make the announcement for BDC is round 1 is going to be held on Assetto Corsa, and we're just done with it.
I mean, you're laughing.
Have you had a go on this?
But that could be real.
No, I really want to though.
Don't bother me. They're fucking useless.
I can't do it. I can't do it at all. A friend of mine, had one 2 years ago now. Fucking hell, was the last time I had a go, and I couldn't do it at all. It was a proper, proper racing sim. It was a fucking racing seat with a set of pedals and a steering wheel and a screen. But I just couldn't fucking do it. I couldn't. Yeah. I just couldn't get it.
Batteries went out on Dan's car.
I've just realised it's 10:30. I'm fucking bored of shit talking, so I'm going in.
Is that what time it is?
All right. Off
bored of shit. I've run out of beer in the fucking car. I'm had enough.
I've run out of beer as well.
I've run out of beer as well.
So
is this the time to cut it?
Should we call it a day?
Go fuck yourselves.
I'll send you this file on who am I sending it to?
Me.
I don't want
BDC, obviously.
I'll put it.
It's not allowed on
British Drift
BDC.
event.
Matt does all these, but they're not allowed on the BDC stuff. They've got to be on my stuff.
I'm Matt from Slide at the minute. I'm nothing to do with BDC.
Sure. Right.
Why'd you lie to me?
Bye,
Wait
everybody. Adam, remember you're in charge, so you have to cancel everything. You have to click. Yeah, otherwise you can't. Look at that car. Look at how cool that car is.
There you.
Look at that green bin. Good green bin that is.
Video. Is that it?
Bye, Adam. Yeah, bye, Adam.
Bye.